Okay, so we are in the home stretch of the semester. So today we're going to talk about your simulation project that you're going to be doing in groups. In addition to what's in these slides, you really do need to look at the participants manual, which is on D2L. So let's get started. So signing up, you should have already received this email. So you want to go ahead and look in your inbox, look in your Gmail, look in your junk email and make sure that you find this email and you go ahead and activate your SMS account. So this is going to cost you $40, but remember from the beginning that I require no textbook. This was the one cost for this course outside of taking the course. So hopefully you've saved up for that. But this is a requirement for this course. So this is what the email would look like. Also in D2L, weeks 13 to 16 materials, there is SMS instructions, and it's the same kind of email that you would see. So what's in this D2L content? A lot of things. So you have your groups with emails, what the decision schedule is, because now it's no longer going to be just a weekly thing. It's going to be every other day. How you sign up, your participants manual, resumes of candidates that you might hire within the simulation, scratch the individual decisions, but then the quiz. And how do you get to the simulation? This link is what's going to get you there. So why are we doing this? Because you can read articles, we can have lectures, we can do case studies, which we're doing, and those are all really good ways of learning. But if you remember from when we talked about training, learning by doing or teaching others is the way that you best understand, or you best kind of integrate or learn the topics. And so that's what this simulation is going to allow you. So learning by doing. So this simulation is going to focus on key sales management decisions. And I think that you will really get into it and enjoy it, because you're going to apply everything you've learned this semester to this simulation, with each quarter making these decisions and then seeing how your decisions play out, and then seeing if you alter one or two things, how does that impact it? So what are the decisions that you're going to have to make? So at first you might be like, wow, this is an exhaustive list. It is, because a sales manager's job is multidimensional. In a term I've always hated, you wear multiple hats. But there's so many different factors and things you're managing at one time. And you're also going to have to do that in this simulation. So what are you going to be looking at? And I would keep this slide and just, I might put this in a Word document and each quarter go through, did I determine these things? Who to hire? How to recruit? So in this, you don't have to worry about the recruiting aspect. What's the trade-off between, sales training benefits versus just, kind of on the job training? So again, that's That's one you don't have to worry about. A big one you do have to worry about: how do you motivate people or salespeople? Because you are going to determine all three of these things within your simulation: your salary for each person, the commission, and the salary is not homogeneous. It differs per person. You could make it homogeneous, but that's up to you. Another decision. What's the commission? So commission will be the same across everyone, but where do you set that commission rate? Do you use sales contest? Another big thing is, how are you going to allocate salespeople to different sales regions? Along with allocating the selling effort, because in this simulation, you have two products. So we're never told like what the product actually is. So as I remember in, I think, a supply management class in my undergrad, they talked about widgets. You might as well assume it's a widget, which I think is the universal name for, we don't know what it is. Maybe it stands for something. I don't know. But between the premium and the base, how am I going to allocate my selling effort? Also between external and internal selling. So let's think about that for a minute. Because in this case, it's not internal in terms of I'm sitting on the phone selling to someone via phone. What this means is external selling is when I'm meeting with my customers. Internal selling is building relationships within your own firm. And why that's beneficial is because building relationships within your own firm helps you it should lead to helping your customer as well. Other things, you're going to have the opportunity to buy a lot of market research. And so you're going to have to figure out what reports are relevant for you, and should I buy them quarterly, every other quarter? How often should I buy these? Then overall, looking at and evaluating how you're performing in terms of profits and market share, which are the two key things you're going to be evaluated on in this simulation. So beginning with the product offerings. And so this is a higher level introduction than what's in the actual participant manual. So I highly, highly recommend you go through that manual. I know it's long, but it's an easy read. It's going to give you so much information. And I think the students and groups that do best in this, not just watch the video and look at the slides, but they actually go through that manual. So product offering. I said there's a premium and a base. So you're going to have two different costs. So you have your base that cost $3,000 and your premium that costs $4,000. And the current pricing is the base at $3,500, premium at $5,500. So you can see the margin on each one. So the difference between the price and the cost. One thing you're going to have to determine is how are you going to price your product. So this is the default. How you price your product is up to you. You could price the premium at $10,000 if you wanted to. I don't know how much you'd sell. You could do that and undercut the base. But that's one of the decisions, and I'm not necessarily recommending either of those options, but that's a decision you have to make within your group. How are we going to price our product in order to get the most ROI and the most penetration in our territory or the territories that we're in? So within the market, what you're going to see is in the product manual, 3 different types of markets. And your market research is going to identify these 3. So developing, saturating, stagnant. And so as you see, 2 of the 3 market forecasts agree for the first 4 periods, and then they're going to differ. So what you're going to have to look at is characteristics, and some of these are provided, and a lot of them are provided in the participant manual, and look at, like, as things play out, what do things look like? What kind of market do I think I'm in? Because that's also going to determine, how do I price my products? How do I place my people? How do I pay my people? How do I motivate them, compensate, etc.? So I'm going to stop right here, and then I'll pick up again.